Connected Consumer.
Hi, my name is Rosie Sarah, and I am one of the hosts of Parks Associates' podcast, The Connected Consumer. This podcast is all about Parks Associates' data-driven market insights on emerging consumer technology products and services, featuring our talented analyst team and industry leaders bringing new and innovative products to market. If you're new here, welcome. In this podcast, you'll get an inside look at the latest industry trends focused on the connected consumer, home automation and security, energy management, connected health and independent living, and digital content and video services. So in this episode, we're going to shift things a little bit because I'm going to share some in-person interviews that I had at Smart Energy Summit 2023, which was hosted in Austin, Texas at the Omni Hotel downtown. And I'm going to kick things off with an interview that I had with Berndt. He's the head of energy industry partnerships in the Americas for Google. So kicking things off with my interview with Aaron and then following up with various insightful interviews with leaders in the industry.
I am head of energy industry partnerships team at Google, working with our Nest thermostats.
Amazing. Could you please tell us a little bit about your experience here at Smart Energy Summit and maybe some of your main takeaways?
The experience has been great. A lot of great discussions. The panels have been super interesting. A lot of what we see in the market, which has also been reiterated today, is demand flexibility is a critical need for electrification. And a lot of parties working on figuring it out. And the good news is the solutions are there. We just need to start connecting the dots and keep on scaling.
You heard it here first, everybody. Do you have any insights for the connected consumer audience?
Any insights? I would say matter is going to be a big deal. So a lot to come on that front in the future.
Today I'm here with
Aimee Bailey from National Grid Partners.
Wonderful, Aimee. Tell us a little bit more about what you do, and if you want to just give us an intro about who you work for.
Sure. So I work for National Grid Partners. We're the venture capital and innovation arm of the National Grid Group. National Grid, we have several regulated gas and electric utilities in the U.S. as well as in the U.K., and several different deregulated or competitive businesses. And I'm on the innovation side at NGP. I've also worked at quite a few different energy companies in the past, mainly utilities, developing different load management and smart home programs. And so it's been really interesting to attend this summit and really see what's happening at the intersection of energy and IoT and security.
Amazing. Tell us a little bit more about some of your favorite topics being covered so far or some of your main takeaways.
Yeah, so I think one of my favorite topics thus far, and there are several additional panels that I think are going to be focused on this, is equity and access. We've seen that emerge as a really prominent policy objective, both in our energy policy and climate policy at the federal level, at the state level. I'm based out in California, and also at the local level. And certainly coming from a regulated utility, equity and access is always a big part of how we operate, ensuring that we're looking out for all customers. So it's been very interesting to see, what we're learning on how to engage with different segments of the population that have, I think, historically been very underserved, and really looking forward to learning more about what's happening in that space.
Thank you so much for sharing. Please tell our audience where they can find you or your company on social media.
Sure. So you can find us at ngpartners_.
Today I am here with
Luis Castro from Enel.
Hi, Luis. Please tell us a little bit about your experience at Smart Energy Summit so far. I know that you were part of a panel, so tell us a little bit about your panel today.
Well, the panels were very interesting. I think last year it was such a first experience, but this second time that I came back, I'm enjoying it a little bit more comfortable on my skin, speaking in front of everybody. But the interactions, there's way more questions, there's more of the audience engagement, and it's all about, this is why we're here, right? To talk to each other about different industries, different ways that we can work together. So that's just exciting.
I love it. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about something that has taken you by surprise during your time here at Smart Energy Summit.
Well, there's definitely been a lot of talk about the pandemic and post-pandemic and how the industry was going one way, and then we kind of got to a stop, and then how we're trying to pick up from where we were. But what surprised me the most is like everybody's attitude is like about pushing even harder. Like we kind of lost a couple of years there, so we need to be better and work together. There's way more open-mindedness to like collaborate. So before, honestly, I haven't heard that. So I'm pretty pumped about it, and I want to talk to even more vendors and more partners to see what we can do together.
Amazing. Well, we love to unify the whole technology experience, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so is there anything else that you want to share?
Please have me back again, because I enjoy hanging out with all of you guys and sharing a little bit more, and most importantly, learning from all of you.
Today I am with
Gerrianna. Hello.
Hi, Gerrianna. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are here with.
So I work for Con Edison, the utility in New York, and I'm on their demand response team as their strategy manager. So this is the perfect place to be.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us. So we're at Smart Energy Summit 2023 here in Austin, Texas. Please tell us a little bit more about your experience here so far and maybe some of your main takeaways.
Yeah, so far it's been a great experience. I loved hearing from Austin Energy. It's always great to see what other utilities are doing in the space. And what I took away from it around the consumer engagement part of it was very interesting to me, of just how to promote the programs and offerings and how to engage the customers.
Amazing. Well, you heard it here first, everybody. Today I am here with Ken Wacks. Ken Wacks, please introduce yourself, your company, and your main takeaways at Smart Energy Summit so far.
Oh, thank you very much, Rosie. I run a management consulting practice in home and building systems with a focus on energy management. I've been coming to the Smart Energy Summit for many years now because I expect to learn the leading edge developments in the field, and I'm never disappointed.
Thank you. So tell us what you're looking forward to the most here at Smart Energy Summit.
Well, the latest movements now are in DER, distributed energy resources, with a focus on local power generation, primarily from solar, and energy storage. And what's important now is how all the systems in the house, including electric vehicles, fit in this mix. So basically everything works and the lights stay on.
Absolutely. Could you tell us something that took you by surprise during your time here at Smart Energy Summit?
I'm hearing more that utilities are starting to take this seriously rather than quietly lobbying to keep the old rules of the road.
What does that mean for the industry?
It means progress.
All right.
It means that now that the utilities are coming around, even though they may still have lobbyists on Capitol Hill trying to slow things, or you notice even in the State of the Union address, the president said that he fully acknowledges the oil industry will be around at least a decade. But on the other hand, we all need to plan for the change that's coming.
Thank you so much for sharing. Do you have any social media handles you want to share with our audience?
I am on LinkedIn.
Perfect.
My focus is generally on direct relations with my clients. I also do chair standards committees where I get to meet a lot of the players here. I chair the American National Standards Committee, where we do energy management standards. And one of our important standards, called the Modular Communication Interface, is now mandated for water heater management in the states of Washington and Oregon, and is being debated in California now. Wow. And internationally, I'm responsible for the ISO and IEC standards in this field, and we'll be talking about it in the panel tomorrow.
Today, I am with
Nadav, Liebermann, VP of Innovation and Data from Samsung Networks.
Amazing. Well, thank you for joining us. I know you were a speaker, so please tell us about your experience at Smart Energy Summit so far and some of your main takeaways.
Well, first of all, extremely well organized. So thank you for our hosts. I think there are very interesting panels, a lot of diversity in terms of the people who are speaking and kind of their perspective on the industry and different aspects of it. So I'm definitely learning a lot from it. Awesome. Having great conversation and kind of networking with people. So kind of, that's the best you can expect from a conference, right?
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And Please tell our audience where they can find you on social media.
Oh, so I'm mostly on LinkedIn. It would be harder to find me on other platforms. So LinkedIn is the place to follow me, but our company also is available on Twitter and other platforms.
Today I am here with
Bethany Farchione from Questline Digital.
Hi, Bethany. I know that you were part of a panel earlier with my wonderful co-host, Chris White. Please tell us a little bit about your experience here at Smart Energy Summit, some of your main takeaways.
We've had a great time. There's so many different perspectives that we're hearing while we're at the event. So our perspective is working with utilities to help with their customer engagement. And now we're able to learn from a bunch of technical providers here about what's really happening on the grid, what they're doing, and how their smart devices are playing a role to make everything more sustainable. So I feel like I have a full picture look at everything after attending all the sessions.
Amazing. Is there anything that kind of caught you by surprise during any of the sessions?
I'd say that there's a lot of talk about data that's interesting, and people are very concerned with who's going to own the data. But then from a consumer perspective, I hear that they're still very concerned with even giving that data away. So we're talking a lot about the possibility and the potential of like what you can do if you're looking at the data for each device in your home and like knowing when they're used and when they're not used. But I know that there's still a lot of consumers who don't want that type of information. I'm not one of them. I would love to know all of that.
Yeah, same.
But I'm curious to see how that's going to be a hurdle or a hindrance to any of the innovative ideas that we've been talking about while we're here.
I am with Danielle Elizalde. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Rosie. How are you? Great to be here.
I'm good. Okay, tell us a little bit about your experience here at Smart Energy so far, a little bit about who you work for, and a little bit about your book.
Sure. Well, thank you. It's been an amazing experience. I had the fortune to do the keynote yesterday and talk about the innovation process in my book, the B2B Innovators Map. And then today I joined a panel to talk about distributed energy opportunities in multi-dwelling. So it's been a really great experience, and being able to share some of my expertise about driving innovation and how to accelerate the energy transition through technology.
Amazing. Is there anything that you want to share that maybe has taken you by surprise during any of the sessions that you attended?
The sessions overall have been great because it's a lot of industry people coming here, and it seems like a lot of the people presenting are also in the audience. And so it's a very in-depth working sessions about how do we solve all this together. So I've been able to talk to people from utilities, from OEMs, from distributed energy resources, aggregators. And so the whole ecosystem is here, and you can actually have those conversations about how do we collaborate to figure this thing out, right?
Wonderful. Please tell our audience where they can find your book and find you on social media.
Of course. So you can find my book on Amazon, the B2B Innovators Map, and you can find a lot more about me in social media at delizalde.com. DanielElizalde.com, or Elizalde is my handle in social media.
Today I am with
Bob Cruickshank.
Hi, Bob. Thank you for joining us. I know that you were in a couple panels and very involved in Smart Energy Summit this week. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, your place in the ecosystem, and your experience.
Okay, who I am. Bob Cruickshank, Power Networks. We have the brand GRIDIoT, or GRIDIoT, as some people say. We do basically things that make the grid more resilient, more reliable, more cost effective, trying to lower the electric bill for customers and make sure the lights don't go out. So we're in the business of keeping the lights on.
Love to hear it. So tell us a little bit more about your favorite part at Smart Energy Summit this week.
I think the best part, and it's the same year after year, is the amount of effort that the Parks Associates team puts into really analyzing data and the surveys that you do that really help the rest of us in the industry understand what are people thinking, kind of what's the adoption going to be of, smart thermostats, generators, battery systems, things that we're increasingly thinking about to make our own lives more secure and more safe, our homes more safe.
Amazing. Tell us what took you by surprise.
I heard one vendor just actually say in the last session that he thought that the concern over grid reliability was something that was going to be at a peak now, but would be going away. And that really kind of surprised me because from my perspective, the grid's increasingly frail. It's parts of it over 100 years old. Storms are increasingly severe. Outages are at an all-time high. Every time there's a big outage, people die and there's a lot of human suffering. So I don't think that fear, like the uncertainty, the doubt around it, is really going to go away. I think each of us are going to increasingly want to make sure, our phone is charged. We've got backup power at the house. A storm is coming. So, the car's full of gas or our battery's full. If we've got a battery at the house, I think we're going to be really more aware of that all the time.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you want to share with our audience before we close up this episode?
Well, just thanks to Parks Associates. You guys continually do a great job getting us together, helping us understand what the issues are, what people's thinking is, and helping us sort of design the future where we're all going to be safer and the grid will be more reliable and we'll be able to enjoy the quality of life as a result of our having been here and worked together on these issues.
Oh, thank you for your kind words, and we truly appreciate your industry insights throughout all of Smart Energy Summit. Can you share with our audience where they can find you on social media?
So I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And I'm also on Twitter.